Do you have any additions or corrections that need to be done before you approve the minutes? So you were looking at the paragraph that says suitability trustee report, Easter festivities.
Right.
I don't recall that either. If you want to.
Yeah, I think that needs to go away. We discussed it, what I remember that.
Okay. If you want to subtract that, you can do it.
Yes.
Anything else? Make a motion to accept.
Oh, I want to accept it, suspend it. Oh, with one exception, ditch cleanup.
So you're making a motion to accept the minutes? Yes, correct.
May I say something?
Second, please.
You've already approved the minutes, but you have several zoning statements underneath Marcy's statements.
I'm sorry.
You have many zoning statements under Marcy's statements, and that shouldn't be there. It should be under zoning. Second page under Marcy, spelled M-A-R-S-I. Well, Rich Gano, you have zoning Rich Gano, but you also have his statements under Marcy, according to this.
Mark Hall, Marcy Mark Hall.
Right, and then you have Rich Gano, but
Yeah, he said it's the dinners.
wouldn't those be under
Oh,
zoning?
yes, you're right.
Zoning,
Yeah.
yeah.
That should go under Rich. The second paragraph of that, Marcy's Rich. This paragraph here.
Thanks, Jim.
Mhm.
So the first will be Marcy Mark Hall's report, and then right underneath that will be Rich Gano's.
Right.
Correct? Okay, we'll make that correction.
Okay, under Marcy. Marcy is an acronym, and it's capital M, small a, R-S-I, for Mantua Restoration Society Incorporated. And it sounds like a woman's name, but it was easier to get spitting out the whole.
I made that correction.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we still got to approve the minutes as corrected. I need a second, please.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passes. So these are the corrections. This one here. Marcy and Rich Gano. I put it on.
Okay.
Before we get started on the township officials, I invited the Mantua Center Christian Church, Brian Summerlin, to address the board first. Brian, the floor is yours.
Okay. First of all, I want to let you know that we have gotten an attorney, and he has been in contact with Jack Murdoch. And what we are waiting for right now is the definition of what we want to do for the survey. As you can see, we've got on this this is just off of the auditor's website, just an aerial view of the properties. And the solid black line that I have drawn there is the current property lines, approximately. The red dotted line is what we're looking at to get, which extends 35 feet to the west from where our current line is, so that it covers the sidewalk and the ramp and everything else. And then also on the north side here, there's that section of sidewalk that we have going into the building that is also not on church property. And so in order to get all of our sidewalks on the property, we would move that line approximately 5 feet to the north. So if that's agreeable with you, that's what we'll have this done for the survey. And then we'll take the same amount of square footage off from the south end of our lot down there and deed it over to the township.
When do you think you'll have the survey done, Brian?
I'm not sure. You know how surveys are. I mean, they take a while to get done sometimes. So, and we're just now getting into the process. And the one thing we need is the final decision on what the boundaries are going to be approximately, and then we can survey from there.
How come you don't go all the way over this way to the line?
Actually, if you look at the actual survey that was done, this is just off the auditor's website, and they don't even show the property lines on the auditor's survey. But we actually do go all the way over.
This is the one, which is on the auditor's side. Not this. This is to be determined.
Yeah.
What they're looking at, Brian, is that 10-foot,
Yes.
that 10-foot panhandle.
And let me see if I got that with me. And I can show it to you on this real quick. This is the original survey. Or this is the survey that the trustees had done in 2020. Okay, this is the lot right here. It's this lot right here. This would be that 10-foot strip right there, and you can see the property line actually goes straight across, and this is our lot over here. And this is the ball field down here.
What's in between here? This is what I'm questioning.
These across the line, that indicates that's a continuous line.
Okay.
So, now that's according to this survey.
That's according to that survey.
Yeah, so,
We still have some questions that it's not going to interfere with what we're doing.
yeah. So,
But we still have questions on that.
okay,
But that's down the line.
yeah. So, that's what we're proposing at this point.
I don't have a problem with this.
No, not at all.
Yeah, continue on, Brian.
Okay, we'll get it surveyed that way, and then send it to the lawyer to be drawn up for all the legal descriptions and stuff.
No, that's fine. I'm happy to see that you incorporated a sidewalk in here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get everything done under one.
Yeah. Do you know the dimension from corner to corner here?
Well, on the survey that showed us as having 255.72 feet from the one line to the north. So,
That's probably according to
yeah, and then add another 5 to that, so that would make us 260.
the information we have is probably close to being correct.
Yeah. And then we would be going from a depth on the lot of 87.12 feet
We're good.
Okay,
Carry on.
thank you.
What's the name of your attorney?
It's Darren Boring, D-E-R-O-N, Boring,
Warren, O-R-E-N?
B-O-R-I-N-G, D-E-R-O-N is his first name, Boring, B-O-R-I-N-G. Okay.
Perfect, thank you. Any questions for Brian? Thanks, Brian.
Okay.
Okay, we'll move on to officials' reports. Obviously, the fiscal officer is I don't see Robin here. I do see Tim Bennett here.
Yep, the rentals are a little slow now for the summer. It's kind of good. Easier to keep up with. Soccer and baseball is all out of there. 4-H is still going strong. Oh, the scouts are out of there. And then when they come back in the fall, they'll be over in the school. And then I have some requests for some meetings.
Which I think
Are you going to be over there?
George can address that.
Yes, I got her text that,
We're canceling that
Okay.
right now, and I'll explain that
okay. that's
during
fine.
my moment
Okay.
and why, where we're at with that.
Oh, Guard One, they've done renting like at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. So that company that's doing the transponders during the day,
They're back.
yeah, I don't think they ever left. They just had a time where they weren't testing them. And they used it last week and they used it this week, so that's good. They're easy tenants. Other than that, I think that's about it.
Any problems with any of the facilities that you see?
No, I kind of fix them as I go first, you know. If it's a simple battery problem or, you know, sometimes I'll call Brian and, you know, if one of the toilets are just running and run, like, he's got that figured out. I call him and he goes there and he changes something and it's fixed, so. So other than that, I think everything's good.
Thank you, sir.
I have a
Any
question.
questions for?
Yeah.
Any questions for?
No.
I do.
You do?
Yes, do we have refrigeration there
Yes.
in the school?
Break, yeah, there's a break, Matt, you want to?
Okay,
That's correct. It's
excellent.
a question like that, a lot of questions.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Brian's not here. I'm sure Matt will have some stuff for us on roads when we get to them. Rich Gano's not here today.
He's going to try to make it.
Is he going to try to make
Yeah.
it? Zoning Commission, Jan Orris.
Yes, thank you. Zoning Commission met on Thursday, May 9th. We're still discussing the hard pull covers, wondering whose liability, if we were to say a hard cover is okay in lieu of a fence. You know, the consensus seems to be that we still feel there needs to be a fence regardless, and we cited many, I won't say opportunities, but many scenarios where the hard cover may not retract, and, you know, power outage, et cetera, so it would still be open and a possibility of someone drowning, or just mechanism failure, et cetera, where at least there'd be another barrier in the fence. So we're still discussing that. We brought up the barn on 44 that's falling down, unfortunately. I don't know, I guess it's Ravenna's responsibility.
Good luck with that.
Okay.
It looks like they're dealing with it, though. It looks like the property owner is taking some measures to
Good.
fix
Well,
it.
that's
That's the
good.
last update that we have got, which was this beginning of the week.
Yeah, we'll have more to say about that.
Okay, very good. The Portage County Commissioners decided that they, finally decided on the solar farms and wind farms, and they have decided that they will control anything commercial. you know, and that they would allow the townships to determine their own rules for the private ones. And they would support, they would back up whatever the townships decided to do. Marijuana, Hiram banned it outright, no farms, no sales, etc. And the question came up as to how different is alcohol versus marijuana. You know, we don't seem to regulate alcohol except for age, basically. And marijuana has a lot of conflicting rules. There's the federal rules that says it's illegal. And then states are saying themselves that it's, like Ohio just did, and many other states, that they're legalizing it. So I think that's going to fall out eventually in a court case, Supreme Court case. The FDA has not approved it as medicinal, even though some of the states allow some of the ingredients, like CBD. And I guess that's about all we have discussed so far. Our next meeting is Thursday, June 13th, here in the Township Hall at 7:30.
Jan, we actually have approved a moratorium on
Yes,
sales here.
yes, I knew
I
that
do
we
have
had.
that on. I do have that on my agenda.
Is that, I'm sorry.
I'm thinking maybe we should look to extending that. I'm not sure, I don't want to bother Julia. Don't remember when we made it. I don't know if it's been a year. But the laws that are coming out of Columbus are kind of really, there's no clear path forward.
Right, but it will cross the meat table
Right.
eventually.
And again, you mentioned narcotics. It is still tier 1 narcotic as far
Right.
as
Right.
government's concerned.
Right. Mhm. Right, so I don't know.
I mean, if the people, it's allowable if you want to smoke pot or if you want to grow whatever you want to do, but I don't know if it's necessary to have a store here in this community. But that's something we'll discuss.
Yeah, and growers, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can grow as up to 6 plants, I think, something like that.
Well, farms, I should say first.
Jan,
Yes,
I like where you're going with the pool covers, because you know.
okay, you're going to have to talk a little slower because I
Sure.
don't get your
I like what you're
enunciation.
doing with the pool covers.
Yes.
For the fact that there's many different manufacturers out there
Right.
that make those. And some may be stronger than others,
Mhm,
okay? Some may work differently than others.
mhm.
So I think that with a nice fence around that would probably be a nice addition to that.
Well, there are those that are approved by, is it the FDMA, I think, and probably allowable would only be those that meet the FMDA standards, because otherwise, yes, you could stand on them and they would hold you up. So that would be part of any regulating that has to be done on our pool covers.
Yeah, the only other thing too is, do they put it on right, you know?
Do they do
Would the
what?
homeowner put it on right?
Oh,
I mean,
right,
you can
right.
get one that's not put on correctly.
Correctly,
you know,
yes,
So,
exactly.
but we're gonna, thank you.
Hey, Matt, just on curiosity.
Mario.
Yeah, they're manufacturally installed. They are very, very expensive. That's like only, they're manufacturally installed. They'll be like, it's like legit, like $25,000 or $30,000 to install one.
It's not a DIY.
No, not a DIY project.
Hey, Matt,
Plywood.
Janet brought up a good question too on liabilities. You may want to contact Mark Wesson and see what kind of coverage we have. I'm sure homeowners are supposed to carry. I think Jan's worried about if we okay if something happens.
Yeah, right, that's right.
If zoning would say you don't have to have a fence because you have a hard cover,
Right.
and somebody, for some reason, a child gets into the pool, does that fall back on zoning and township, the liability, because we
Good
didn't
question.
regulate,
So that you're trying to decide whether a pool cover or a fence, but not both.
No, we're wondering if we should go with a fence, not a hardcover
Yeah.
without a fence.
Right.
But that we should have a fence.
That's the thing, yeah.
Thank you, Jim. BZA report, Joe.
My report on June 17th, we are going to have a journalization of the minutes from our meeting of, that was on May 20th, and the area variance for Scott Disney, and that's at 6:30 on the 7th. And on June 24th, the city of Aurora submitted new evidence to the BZA board on June 3rd. With regard to the conditional use certificate 84402, in light of the new evidence submitted to the BZA board, it has responded and scheduled a hearing for Monday, June 24th. Portage County Prosecutor's Office has been informed. They have been given files and associated with this hearing. Chris McGurry is tentatively scheduled to attend that hearing. This is as much as I know so far. Chris and I will have a discussion tomorrow at 9:30. We haven't talked about that.
So you said your first meeting you're going to approve?
We had a meeting to journalize and approve the minutes. I'll back up. We had gotten a letter from, I asked the prosecutor, Brett Benson, because I've been working with him all along, that he weigh in on his opinion on how to move forward with the Aurora City hearing, and new evidence has been brought up. I brought it to a vote to the board. The vote went to hear the evidence that Aurora has to bring. From what I understand, and I don't know, this is totally out of any kind of procedure I've ever been involved with, so I'm really working at getting the procedural direction for it. Unfortunately, Brett is going to have a baby, his wife, not him. But he's out of the office from the 11th of June until July 9th, before he'll come back. This hearing is on the 24th, and we're going to be doing discussions. I reached out to Brett, and Chris both, that we need to have direction. I want to know how to have my secretary address the ad in the paper as to what we are doing, because from what I understand, it's only listening to new evidence the city of Aurora wants the board to hear. And that will be what is going to be heard that day. Now, I had asked Randy Alger to do the hearing since he's my co-chair, for him to chair that evening, because I did the last hearing with totally being bombarded. I'm not kidding, I walked into a very interesting meeting I was not prepared for. And it went for 4.5 hours. And the coulda, shoulda, wouldas, all can be talked about. Well, this is what we did. We had 2 votes to accept it, the motion, 3 votes to deny. So where we're at now is looking at, and it's just, I want the lawyer to weigh in on what we have here.
So what you're telling us is that Brett is not going to be available for...
This particular, he's out of the office, and Chris Maduri call me at 9:30 tomorrow morning.
Very good. I was just going to suggest to go with Christmas.
So I have a question. So during the meeting you had, did you say it was a continuance or did you adjourn that meeting without
Yeah.
continuing?
Randy's here with me tonight with the votes, you know.
Was your meeting over with, or did you
It
actually
was
make a motion?
It was
to-
adjourned.
So you didn't make a motion to continue that meeting?
It got
So
kind
the
of
meeting-
crazy at the very end though. Don't you remember, I mean, we had people talking and moving around. We had another issue after that,
So when you advertised in the paper for the meeting you had the last time, was to journalize the meeting for the park?
the May 6th meeting.
So, and it wasn't journalized then, wasn't approved?
The generalization was on hold.
Yeah, we did not journalize it.
We put it on hold. And found a day to look at the new evidence as the board.
Okay, so when you advertised for the meeting, you just advertised that you're going to have 2 meetings in June. You weren't specific on what.
The way our board works is that we had the May 6th meeting right here. We had, that meeting is never over until the journalization is completed. That date was, I believe the only place that date comes up is at the end of that meeting, that it's announced to the group that the journalization date is, in this particular case, it was on Monday, June 3rd at 6:30. Monday, June 3rd at 6:30, I had, well, you guys were there, and the mayor, and the park director, and Denise, I'm not sure what her title is, and they said there was email that was sent to Rich Dino and Mary on Friday. The discovery was they didn't receive it. So none of that was received until the Monday night meeting when Denise put the papers on the desk in front of us.
So actually, it was just a regular meeting. There was no, I mean, that would be like us trying, oh, we're going to have a regular meeting. Right, we
Well,
meet
right.
you meet every month?
We have a regular meeting on the third Monday of the month. We
Third.
have been busy, so we have 2 meetings a month, which I have worked out with Kim as a schedule that we can have the first and the third days for this hall for our meetings. We are now going out of that first and third. I contacted Jim to say we have a meeting on the 24th with the city. This is something I am going as the chairman of the board and the chairman that has a group of 5 that votes as to the movement of the board.
So, can I make a suggestion? Please confer with Chris Majuri and let him know everything that we talked about.
Everything
Especially that you made you took a motion to
Adjourn the meeting.
adjourn the meeting. and
Set
you
another
didn't-
date.
But you didn't make a motion to extend it.
You know, we made a motion to journalize.
No, I'm talking about previously, when you held the hearing, you made the motion and approved adjournment of that meeting.
Those are, all of that information, which is 17 pages,
Right.
has been forwarded to Chris.
Perfect. Okay.
So, I'm sure he's going to review it. He's going to advise us. I have held off on putting a notice out or anything at this point with my secretary. She has until June 10th to put a notice in the paper as to whatever our prosecutors, our attorneys address us to do. That's where I'm at as the chairman.
It's the best policy.
John, I can say the reason I got involved with that was because I was asked to find a procedure to what you guys needed to do to move forward if you guys were going to change your decisions or whatever, if they were working approved and submit additional evidence, okay? That's when I called Chad Murray, and I think, I don't know if you got my email or not.
Not until a later time. I never did receive yours. It ended up a few days ago I did. I don't know exactly. I tried to keep notes of everything,
right.
when and what happened.
Right, but it wasn't to interfere, Joni, it was just to clarify the water to what you guys, if you want to move forward with it, that was fine. If you don't, that's fine. That's your say, that's your board.
And I've been conflicted because if you want to look at a board that has, something in skin in the game, it's like you could pick every one of us apart on any kind of, whether it's this issue or anyone. But I have held our board at the highest regard I can. I have not didn't speak with you, I didn't speak with Ann or Benjamin. I kept what was going on in our board to just the conversations we've had were with the board in an open public is where I've kept it. And I'd like to keep it all up there. I've been on this board for over 30 years, and my integrity, I feel we've always had a healthy BZA board. I'm, glad we have diversity. I'm proud to be a resident of the township, and I believe that we will always, we strive to do the best.
Yeah, we're completely satisfied because we have no problems. It was just that this matter was a little different.
Oh, it's not. It's not. The more you delve into it, the worse it gets.
Yeah, normally when you have a meeting and you adjourn the meeting, or the hearing, and you adjourn the minutes don't change.
No, it's
You know what I mean, the
usually,
minutes,
well,
so-
I know in our minutes, one place Mary has, it's not Treat Road, it's some other sheet.
Well,
That's all we do.
Well, that's
We
it.
correct, like you were correcting this evening.
You make corrections, right. But
That
I mean,
takes some-
the meeting, the minutes themselves is basically what happened at the meeting. So to journalize those minutes it means that happened. I mean, you can't.
But
you
it
can't-
does close it. In this particular
Yeah.
situation, it will end it with no more discussion of it with our board.
Again, our suggestion is basically exactly the road you're going on. Make sure you take good advice from Chris. He's been around a long time. He has.
Yeah, you have to take his advice.
And again,
People say that.
we are completely happy with what we're going to do. We have no problem.
Well, thank you, because this has been, I haven't been chairman for years, and never realized it was going to be a full-time job. And I'm glad I'm retired, and I know I've asked Mandy and Brandy to. I want him to co-chair because that last hearing, I feel I can be a much better board member in an environment that I listened to 4.5 hours. I know this pretty well. So let's get it. Let's follow the procedure. I'd like to find out exactly what the process goes. That's my.
Well, I think we're satisfied with the explanation, and you guys carry on, keep doing the best job you guys can, and we'll be behind you 100%.
Joni, have you been harassed or threatened?
I've been bugged a bit.
Good choice of words.
By anybody on this board?
No, but could make it bigger. Could be, it's a small town. I've lived here my whole life. I know what went talk to anybody but my kids.
That's okay.
Because I was so upset
Right.
that this is me doing my job, and I think that anybody who sat on a BZA board understands you do not talk about any of it out of your setting.
Opinions, yes.
I agree.
So that's where I've kept it here, and the attorney's aware, my secretary's over there.
Well, we just want to make sure that you're not threatened or whatever. Yes.
No, but that kind of stuff,
It gets old.
yeah, it's enough. It's just enough.
Yep.
But-
Thank you, Jim.
Yeah, you fire, yeah, should have been fire chief.
Pardon
I
me?
said he should have been fire chief. So,
I really do believe that any public servant
it's tough.
does it because they love their community and they feel that being involved and putting themselves forward. I feel like I have a right to complain about things when I'm in stuff.
Right.
And this one's gotten, it's really, it can be sorted out. That's why I have been blessed by being on this board for 30 years. It's taught me, I don't go into the hearing, I do my homework, but I don't have an opinion. I listen to what the evidence is, and there was a lot, and we were tired, and there's a lot of being inexperienced in the managing end of it.
Okay.
I will admit my faux pas in it. So I really feel that I'm part of the group, and I'm going to go with what the unanimous procedure is, what they want to extend out to you.
Very good.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Randy, thank you.
Okay, Carol Fowler is going to make a report on Chamber's conference.
As I indicated in an email to you earlier today, I wasn't at that meeting, but Janet Orris was, so she's going to report on it.
Yes, thank you. That meeting was held 5/16 at the Shalersville Township Town Hall. They stated that the next meeting will be in August. They're not going to have a July meeting. And that August meeting is going to be a picnic at Booker Park as a fundraising event. He said there are many ways that you could contribute as a sponsor for this event, because it'll have games and food, etc. And they're going to start their sponsorships at $100. So, any organization or person who wants to sponsor any of those, food, games, etc., just have to start at $100. But anyway, it's for their scholarship program, and I don't know very much about their scholarship program or how many people receive it. So that probably will be information to come. Old business was the See Manaway campaign, which they had last year, where they had little stamps. If you purchased something at a certain store, they gave you a stamp. The idea was for people to go from store to store, visit, see what they had, and win a t-shirt for going through 11 businesses or 10 businesses or so. Well, they're not going to have it this year, but they hope to have it again next year. For new business, the Chamber's topic for new business was to introduce the government heads from the 3 entities in the Chamber, Shalersville Chamber of Commerce, and that would have been Manaway Village, Manaway Township, and Shalersville, so that they would outline what's happening within their respective areas and what they offer to their communities. The village mayor, Tammy Meyer, described a 10-year plan that they have set up for infrastructure, for trees and roads, for parks and cemetery, and the roads for chip and seal, et cetera, and that'll kind of be an ongoing project with the roads. And they also mentioned that DMRC, what they were doing with lighting and restrooms for the park. She has a good handle on a master plan for the township, or for the village. And then Shalersville Township was Ron Kirkowski, and I couldn't write fast enough. They have the water project going on Route 44. And he mentioned that their infrastructure is not all in place for the guys to open their building. People keep saying, why aren't there people in there? Why aren't there people in there? It's not ready for people, like just putting in the water lines now. He mentioned that Beta is a new German company that's building. And the only thing he really had to say was that they've been pretty easy to work with so far. So then they had about their park. They added 11 acres to their park and received a trail grant, a grant for parking lot, a grant for lighting and paving, and for building an open air building. I couldn't believe how much money they received through grants. They used Portage County Regional Planning to locate and to write the applications for them. They didn't do it themselves. It seemed like I think there were 5 different grants that they had for their park project alone. And with one of them, they had enough money left over to paint the historical buildings inside and out, I thought. So then Ron ended his part of the reporting by saying that their township governance goal was to give back to the residents and community, that they were responsible and accountable, and I like that word, to all of their residents. He said, he ended it with the statement, we are public servants. There wasn't a representative from Mantua Township there, and I don't know that they knew you weren't coming because they actually introduced you first. They were going from north to south, and they introduced you, and because Randy wasn't in charge, he was out for that night, and so Patrick was the one who introduced everyone. And so I don't think he knew you and didn't know you were there, and he was looking around for you. So I don't think he knew you weren't going to be there. So that was the government. And then they went on to list what's going on in Manway and what events they have. June 1st, of course, was the Triple Trail Fest. June 15th is the Soapbox Derby, and they still need volunteers. They need to lay pipe for the lanes. He said they start, he gets there at 5 in the morning, but they need people to lay pipe to start at 7 a.m. And he went on to describe the races, ages 7 to 21. June 29th is an adventure race that the Portage Parks District Foundation is putting on. And July 13th is Art on the Hill. July 19th through the 20th is the Ox Roast. And they're going to have the community garage sale again this year. Top Tier Pastry had a grand opening on May 25th. Beacon Hughes Glass is a new store. It's more than a store because she'll also be giving lessons on stained glass. So Beacon Hughes Glass grand opening was will be Saturday, June 22nd at 1 p.m. And they're putting together a Manway Shalersville basket for the court-appointed special advocates fundraiser. And this is a chance to tell people around the county all the good things going on here. And you can drop off donations for these baskets at R44, where Randy Ellis can pick them up. The Potato Festival is looking for a parade organizer. Farmers markets start up on June 2nd, or on the 2nd and 4th Fridays. American Legion has 5 flags that they will put up on your building and manage for the summer. Contact Randy Ellis. I think that's all I have, but I did give you a copy of the agenda so that you have all those activities offline for you as well. No meeting in July.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, and as embarrassing as it is, I injured myself the day of the
Oh my goodness.
wreck. So I'm just getting back to
Okay.
being able to walk a little bit better. So
Okay.
so
Yeah, if
my
you
apologies.
definitely missed.
I'll send an email to them.
Okay. Yeah. They have a lot going on for the summer. I'm not sure how they're going to handle their, after August, with September when school starts and their meetings. They usually go from venue to venue, so I don't know if they'll have a specific one for governance again, so.
Very good, thank you. Dennis.
You're welcome.
Hi, Rich. Would you like to make a zoning inspector report?
Sure.
The floor is yours.
Thank you. Well, as usual, we've had numerous calls, numerous permits, and I'll get that emailed over to everyone. You had a chance to make the copies. It's been very busy everywhere. Charges are delivered and will be signed, since I couldn't make it to the prosecutor's office. He says a trustee could have, but he preferred the zoning inspector. So he emailed them to me. I could get a notarized sign, and that would be for Toothman, for the junk cars. They responded to no letters from me or the prosecutor. Second is Mr. Ugarsic on Mantua Center with the fence. That he was in the office over there, and I told him no higher than 4 foot, and he went as high as he wanted. He's not gotten rid of any of those semi-trailers yet. So after our conversation and trying to work well with him, I called and told him about the fence, and he said the chickens will fly out. I said, well, it's 4 foot. I told him that. He screamed at me, quit harassing me, and hung up on me. So I immediately called the prosecutor and said, you have to have charges. We had to amend him a couple times because some things were taken care of from past emails. So that one is ready to go. I have the other one there. I will get them signed, notarized, and mailed. I think I got to do that wedding back to Brett, who's going to be gone starting the 11th from a month, I think, on maternity leave. So maybe Chris or somebody else will take it over, I hope. Because if not, we're going to look probably to August before. Finding out with the manure plan that we have in our book, and it's some big long acronym. I think I'm really calling somewhere far, and I called the number to find out how to do this for these smaller farms and where they put their manure, and it's Portage County Water and Soil District. That didn't come out, and then it come to be noticed that the garden that he's wasting, putting the manure on, is not on his property, it's on the neighbor's, and the fence goes way into the neighbor's yard. Reached out to the neighbor. It was some LLC. I took I sent a letter. I got a call. It happened to be a guy that I dealt with for other zoning issues we had with a trucking company on Frost Road. And he said he didn't know it was his. He said he really didn't mind. And I said, well, if you're going to be in trouble, you might mind. So I gave him the phone number. He called the angry chicken farmer and thought he was just the nicest guy ever. And they may be selling property, leasing property. So I hope he does something of that soon, because if not, I'm going to have to cite this nice gentleman who owns a lot of property. He doesn't live here, doesn't pay for it, but he owns the Quarry Lakes. He owns a lot of property. It's under some LLC. So we'll see how that's going to be an outcome. You'll see all the permits. It's been plenty. I know there was a problem. Some letters went out to Leicester. They took care of nice people. She come back. They're going to put a metal coating up. Oh, that's you. That's
Yeah,
right.
I do have a copy
That's right.
when you're done. He's great to work with.
I thought you looked familiar. So they complied with everything. Place is looking great. A nasty dispute, as you've probably seen, between neighbors on Vincent Drive. You see the video? I don't know why it sent it to me, but I watched it. And the guy, I don't even know where to begin. I've got pages and pages and pages of text. Do something, you need to do something, I'm going to take this fence down. Child Protective Services, and he goes on and on. And I said, I don't get into property disputes. Everybody wants, to be in the pockets of the municipality. And we were telling her to get her fence down. She had some makeshift surveyor come, put a pipe down, caulking it, called a property marker. Can you order her to remove that? I said, no, I cannot. What's her penalty for having a conduit pipe with caulking in it? I have no penalty for such thing. I have nothing. guy wanted to be a part of it because he was kind of moonlighting from his boss, so he didn't want to be a part of it. So I give her a number of one that's from my town, who's going to come in 2 weeks to settle this. And I got myself involved, and probably shouldn't have, trying to be just a simple liaison. I said, look, since they're not allowed to talk to each other, these two neighbors, by the police order, then maybe I can let him know, with her permission, when the surveyor's going to come, and he can stand out there and witness this. He's certain he's going to tear the fence down, he's going to smash it, cut it down. He wants to know why the township's paying for her survey. I said, the township's not paying for her survey. She's paying for her survey. Everything I keep telling him is civil, and I know that's not like it. So that's just one of many things, and it goes on all day, every day. And I hope this ends soon and peacefully.
Yeah, me too.
Because it's getting very serious. Well, there's a lot more than else I've been here. Anything else for me so far? What I think of it? Nobody good.
I think everybody just waiting for you to explain what is going on with the barn.
Oh, that's on the list too. Yeah, there it is. But you've seen, and I'm not perfect by any means. Ask some people. But I had called the building department because he's going to do the adjudication. He found out that he could do that. He didn't know that he could. He found out that he could, and he said he would. And he lost contact, and he finally said, reminded me, yeah, I had to do that. I said, yeah, you do, because as soon as that gets away, people are calling the trustees, the sheriff, the state patrol, Mark Griffith from ODOT, you name it, to do something with this. So if you've seen some of the emails go back, if I'm trying to screenshot them, just so you know where it's at. He's finally, after the adjudication where after he was ghosting, Mr. Bodnar agreed to start taking some boards off and pinning things up, and I think they're going to try to remove it. I think that's the end result. And he wanted the building department to drive by and see that he was honestly doing such stuff. Because it falls in the road, it's going to be a big hazard.
It's going to be a hazard.
Yes, and we could have done ours, that nuisance violation, and then we would pay for it, and then put it on his taxes. I'm not sure we have the money, but or what that would cost, and that doesn't, get paid. And if we sold the property, that'd be another tax delinquency, tax duplicate. That'd be another way to take care of that. But luckily, I preferred him do it this way. It seemed like he had a little more power with the adjudication order than our 505.87, which would have been title searches and lien searches, and then we would have done it, we would have posted it and taken it down. It's not impossible. I'm not for a moment for a 505.86. It works. And it's good to know there's a tool in our toolbox if need be. But I'm glad that he took care of it that way and at least threatened that. Now, I could never get clear if that would have been him taking it down and him putting in his taxes, or if he would have done it and then it would have been up to us to remove it. But luckily it's coming down. But in the future I should find that out. At first he was saying it's agricultural, I can't do anything with it. Then he found out it doesn't matter what it is, it's a threat to society. It's done. So the corner was on there. Corner of was it Wayne and 44 was just he had that permit years ago. They're going to go away and they reapplied and everything's good.
That's for the
Steel
building.
Yeah. So that's all. It was applied for before and just continued on.
Good.
I was going to ask Jan why you're here in front of everybody. It doesn't mean that necessarily, but if we could add verbiage to the resolution, it should be simple, and that's simply asking for requiring permits for fences, because we have rules about fences, but we require no permits. So as soon as someone just sees no permits, they don't need rules. If they can come to me, I don't care what the fee is, that be set by the board of trustees, but if they could say I need to get a fence permit, I could say, well, it has to be 5% opacity, 4 foot around the front, 6 foot around the back, can be in a property line, so just to be off a few feet, and that way you can kind of, if not, you're gonna see fences go up. And now that they've been up for a while, you can't catch everything, and well, that's a complete stop. Well, they didn't ask. So it's kind of a catch. Does it make sense?
Yes, it does.
That way, it's simple, just say will require a permit, 'cause I think now it says does not. And if we had new rules, that would be awesome, but it's hard to tell someone, hey, by the way, remember, it's in the code, not that you look, but you can't have it here, kind of, and the decorative side, you has to go out, the nice side goes out. You, as the owner, get the view of all the 2x4s and 4x4s and stuff. And people don't like that, they want to go under that yard and see a pristine fence, the neighbors get the view, the construction side. So those are like 3 or 4 rules that we don't get to tell people. So if we could do that simple amendment, I would really appreciate
No
it.
amendments are simple.
Just add to the swimming pool cover and everything else we got going on.
Well, that brought up the question too, should we require a permit for a hard cover? And are there any other areas where a permit would help describe what's required?
Not that hits me now, and I try to catch all this as
Yeah.
few amendments as possible if we start redoing a book. The only thing we may want to remove is, and we may have already, is we got a little bit of trouble with that transient vendor. We have a definition, but we lack any fee schedule or anything for it.
Right.
Any permitting, anything. We tell you what it is, but we don't.
Well, it brought into play the Oxrose Fair,
Yeah, so-
all the trucks.
Yeah, I'm not saying bring it back up, simply, if we're going to not have an there, just remove the definition, stop any confusion. That's a small, that's neither here nor there, that doesn't happen often, but when it does, it goes on forever with a lot of phone calls.
I have a comment and a question. First of all, Rich is fantastic to work with. Yes, we were in violation. We had our wrecked semi out there. But I do have a question. In talking with Rich, I was asking him who reported us. And apparently he gets anonymous phone calls and the phone number's blocked. And I wondered who reported me, if it's my neighbor. The old-fashioned way, we go to our neighbor and we work out any differences and say blah, blah, blah. And I know it wasn't any of my neighbors. And so I'm wondering, is it someone in the township? Is it someone driving by? Someone who doesn't even live here? Is someone flying a drone over my property? Is someone, because 3 or 4 of us got right in the road, got reported. And I know one neighbor, they have to literally stop and look and really, really look or drive in to see what the offense was. So who are the anonymous reporters that are constantly going around reporting us with blocked calls?
There's blocked, and then when it forwards, from what I remember you have, I can tell when it comes from Mantua Township. It took me a while to figure it out, but my phone was trashed. It just shows a period of dots. And that's all because it's forwarded from the 8022 number or whatever it is.
It's, yeah. So if you dial the 357-8013 number, that has a menu which lists all the trustees, zoning inspector, those types of things. So if they click 2 and it's the zoning inspector, it goes to you. But on your ID, it will come up with that number, not their number.
No, trust here,
It comes up with the township.
John, when they call that number, do we have call writing on that? When we look at that?
Not that I know of. I don't think so.
Okay.
And so we had gotten reported. Of course, we never had a violation in all my lifetime living here. And of course, I freaked out and called him immediately. He's great to talk to. And explain my guys are cross country. I don't have somebody right now to move our wrecked semi that we're using parts off of. But then this person again called and reported, even though I had talked to Rich, he's great. And so I want to know who's going around reporting people anonymously. Are they in the township? Are they out of the township? Who is it? And on Manaway Center Road, I had talked with my neighbor Mark, because Mark got reported, Keith Brugman got reported, John's place, all anonymous, all at the same time. And it's like, who's doing this?
We don't know, we have.
Go ahead.
I mean, I
I'm sorry,
just-
I was just gonna say, we don't know if they're calling the township number.
And so my question is too, when a report is filed, if Susie wants to report me for a violation, is there some type of an official form, complaint form that they fill out and so forth? You know, and then their name and phone numbers there, so you know where the complaint came from. I don't know, I'm just
I'm not
asking.
sure if it's if there's a law on it, I'll ask the prosecutor.
I'm just wondering,
Yeah,
because
a lot of people say that you should use forms so that you can see your accuser.
well, and because if it's a neighbor, I want to go and make things right with my neighbor.
Yeah.
But I know-
Well, I can tell what we did at the fire department. Okay, we get an anonymous call, and it happened all the time for open burning complaints. If you didn't leave your name, it wouldn't go. That's how we got staffed.
So maybe if he gets his anonymous phone,
What's that?
What about the building burns down?
Usually it's a burning. Usually somebody has a campfire, smoke phone.
so maybe if somebody's reporting someone.
Okay, well, hold on one second. I think we're getting way off.
Okay, but I'm just
We
curious,
need
because my name was brought up
We
in the.
have a lot to discuss.
Okay,
But I don't know.
Further
I don't know.
consideration.
You're asking a question. Does anybody know who's doing it? We don't.
no, I'm just asking. You're accepting anonymous phone calls with blocked numbers and not knowing who it is.
Okay, real quick, Frank, so we can.
Years ago, another zoning inspector, many years, 20, came to the board of trustees complaining about phone calls, this guy, that guy. At that time, the trustees made a requirement, if you got a complaint, go to the zoning inspector and fill out a report, signed report. And his phone calls,
What's that?
it's in the history. If we could ever find it, those trustees at that time made a resolution.
And
Is it any good? I don't know.
Right, not only that, Frank, the zoning inspector has a drive-by. If
He has that right
If he
to drive by.
sees something, then he
Yes.
should make a report.
But when he gets that call and he makes a report, it looks like him, the bad guy.
Right.
So if you got a complaint, come in and sign a
He
report.
needs a bulletproof
And she
vest.
says some kind of a paperwork, yeah.
Okay.
But if the county requires you to fill out paperwork,
What?
the county, if you go to them, then there's a question.
For
So
building
it might
or
be
for
something to
health?
consider,
For
so.
health, it does. I'll check with the legal to see if it's anything that, what their view of it is.
Yeah.
It'll save you some headaches.
Yeah.
Then we need, do you have any?
No, unless you have anything.
I had a question, does he have any more applications down the line?
I agree.
I just have one more question. I was going to ask Matt, but since you're here, what have we heard about the Weigel property?
The dog.
The Weigel property.
Oh.
Where the dogs, I mean, I get a lot of phone calls from people on shelter.
Well,
Do you know if
yeah, because you took a phone call, John.
a couple of them?
No, you took a phone call from the bank.
They said,
Yeah, I took a phone call.
So it's
They-
probably going to be foreclosure, it's probably going to take care of itself. It's not over.
Well, that's what I hope too. I didn't know if he knew something more that I could.
the only thing that I've seen, I think, was forwarded from, as all you all were, was that the county, everybody that met there, said it was horrible. And if we need to look into having it raised, with that issue too, money.
And Matt's correct, I did get a call from the bank, and they were asking me questions if anybody was interested in the property or if it was going through a sale. And I was like, you're the bank.
It's been condemned.
I don't think they want to take that.
Well, then they should raise it, or we can have that inspection done. We already did.
Yeah.
We can move forward on one of those 505s that I love reciting here and make it happen. You know, maybe the bank can bill.
I guarantee the bank not going to the money. They're going to buy it.
So, but if it's unsafe, like it's, then we need to get rid of it. Can we look into that or?
Yes. Is that okay with that?
I will get in contact with the bank, is what you should do, John. If you can remember who you talked to from the bank.
Yeah, send me whatever, whoever.
See what
I'm sure if not, I can find it on Ever's lien.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all good.
Wonderful. So I take it that the guy down there does not have free range chickens.
He did, they were trying to get their calls
But
too.
you said they had to put a fence up.
Yeah, I never seen chickens fly that far, but not far. Do they? How far can a chicken fly?
I don't think so, yeah.
Stop the attention.
How tall is
Not very tall.
It's 6 foot, it's 4 foot, and it's 2 acres.
Any other questions? Any other questions for Rich? Thanks, Rich.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
If he clips the chickens, maybe they won't fly over.
You may have to, because you don't know this
Fly
fence.
Carol, before we get into the rest of it, I want to give you the opportunity. I did forget about Dan, make your report.
There's so much going on, I didn't hear what you said.
But go ahead and make your report for Marcy. I think you wanted to.
Yeah, right. It's only two things. The next Marcy dinner is on the 14th of June from 4 until 7 at the school building. And my sister-in-law is the linchpin on that, and she chooses a different sort of focus every time. This time it'll be Mexican. So, and if anybody was at the coordination and had Aztec chili, that's what I do, and I will make that. So, and then the other thing is we did not get the CDBG grant that we had applied for. I think it was for something on this building, and that was denied because it's used for government purposes. So, and I said, well, the school building was purchased, with the intention of using it for government also. That was different because the elevator went in as an accessibility thing, so it was a different purpose. So that's it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How is the sign coming?
Well, it won't be that sign. It'll be
He said it wouldn't be exactly.
No, what
But are you
we're
making
doing-
progress on?
Okay, what we are doing for the signs that would be, we think, on the green, is like the one in Hudson that is called Revised Ohio. It's basically a rectangular sign with an arch top, and there will be text on it, not a lot, but text. Right now, what we are waiting for is the little logo that we want to put up in the arch part. And we should have that. Holly Levinson at 5 Graphics is working on that. As soon as we get that, so that I can send the whole package to Siwa Monuments, we'll send it. And then the sign, what you showed me is what we were talking about subsequently to be on the roads. And okay, that's the sign that we want to have here as the commemorative sign. Yeah, so we're all on the same page about that. I'm not sure when we would get to the ones, the hanging signs, but they are certainly much less vulnerable because they're all over the place in Aurora, and there are a lot of places that have that design. So the first thing is the commemorative sign.
Any questions for Carol?
Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Okay, we'll get on to trustee reports. New business. New business and old business, whatever business we have, we'll just spin it. So, first thing I want to talk about is the salt shed. We postponed Barnes is postponed until we get the electrical in. Ohio Edison is paid. They've got us on a schedule. I don't know what the schedule is. I'm hoping soon. But that is in the works. So you have a copy of that. A
Yeah.
charges. The West Lawn new section, yeah, is the next piece of paper you have. The only bid we got so far is from Industrial Landscaping. I got wind that a couple of people we reached out to don't want to do this. Have you got any?
I haven't, no, because Brian said he was going to do that. He's going to-
He hasn't.
Yeah, no.
gotten any. We're getting into, well, we're getting into, going to be into July here soon. We're going to have a meeting for the road bids on the 27th. I'd like to see if we can reach out to a couple more people, because I would.
Is there a reason why Brian didn't do what we asked him to do?
He said that he did, and they said nobody. So Pearson's is waiting on us to put the, we have all the markers for the lots. They're waiting for us. They've been waiting a good long time, so I'd like to see if we can take care of that. We've had some concerns about the trees that are marked at the cemetery. We'd like to tell everybody those trees are not marked to be cut down. Those trees are marked to be looked at, and we have to decide which ones we will take down and which ones we won't take down. Don't know if we made that decision or not, but as it stands right now, we're not cutting any trees down. We know they're bad, but we need to know how we're going to move forward.
Are we going to call somebody in to take a look at this?
I think we should.
You want me to call the three companies and have them tell us if they're, should be taken down, or healthy or not healthy?
I think we should take a look at it and see which ones they are. Because we do have.
I mean, we just can't afford them falling on another grave. And
No, we
that
can't.
mess again.
No.
Okay.
One second.
So I'll call people, I'll have them evaluate.
We only need one qualified to us.
Okay.
I don't think we need a bunch of people out there. They're all going to see the same thing. If they're qualified to look at it, then that's what it is. Yes,
Can I save you some time with that?
yes.
I had a concern with the trees, because I couldn't get any feedback from the trustees as to why they had been marked. Had they been seen by an arborist? I took it upon myself to contact Baby Tree Company. I have here for you a quote for them to do a removal, grinding down the stumps, and or replanting of trees. They plant 2 trees for every one they remove. He also
Wait a
told me,
minute, wait, one question with that. You want to plant another tree and replace that where in the cemetery?
they will plant them in the same place that they were.
Well, no, we wouldn't want that, because the graves are heaving and everything else. That's what we're trying to
They
avoid too.
grind out the stumps.
So when it grows, this happens.
Can we see that?
I'm going to give this to you.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. And he walked around. Now, he says because of liability reasons, they can't put in writing what is wrong with the trees. But this is what he told me. There are stress cracks in the trunks. The buttress roots are gone on some of the trees. He says that is very critical because they will fall over very easily. The branching limbs, if it's not a straight up trunk and they branch out, that weakens the tree. They're more likely to fall over. Some of the trees, you can see them from the road, the tops of them don't have any leaves on them. He said, that's pretty obvious. He said the trees could last 20 years, they could come down in 5 minutes. They have no way to know. There is rotting at the base of some of the trees. The
the ones by the road, the branch that branches out is so heavy, he says it will fall on the road eventually if it's not taken care of. There are holes in a lot of trees, especially in the older section, where limbs have been cut for whatever reason. He said that's all rotted in there. He said if the trees come down, they will take a 20-foot radius of everything around them. So there is one arborist who came out. I believe his name is on there.
Well, that is our concern. 4 years ago, we had a tree come down in the old section. And luckily, the insurance company paid for everything. It was about $20-some thousand.
Yeah. Well,
For the graves. And that is our main concern.
and my concern was I wasn't getting any feedback as to how you would make the determination. And once I got the arborist out, it was like, oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. I have no problem, but I'm a person who needs some information. You can't just say we're taking the trees down. I want to know what you're basing that on. This gentleman gave me that information. They need to come down.
No, we
just kind of evaluated them, we didn't take it any
Yeah,
further.
we understand it, and I think the trees that were marked with Susan's help,
Yep.
they are the ones that are.
They're the ones I took him around to see, and he looked at all the rest of them and
Right.
also.
So he agreed with what I,
Yes, yes.
The
I don't agree with putting a tree right back where the same trees are coming
You
down.
can have them, he will plant them wherever
Okay,
you
because
want
I
them
mean,
to
we
go.
have designated rows for trees in the cemetery.
Yeah.
And I think that to prevent, I mean, it would be in my.
Well, we've always wanted
Trees,
even
yeah.
even when Victor was here, we've always wanted to replace
Do
trees.
you want me to forward that email to you?
No, this is fine. Is this the same one? Yeah. Well, this is fine. I'll take that. Yep. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
Okay, so the tree discussion is now over, and we will move forward on what we decided to do. Any other discussion on the trees?
No. We will have to get another quote at least,
Um,
right?
Yeah, we can get another quote. You
I
have,
mean, usually we get 2 quotes.
and Brian was supposed to do that as well, did he not do that?
I don't know. I don't think so. He's not here to be specific, but
Okay.
not sure.
Okay, so what's this quote here then from, I've been gone for a month. What's this quote here for 14,500 from Reaver?
That's for,
Cemetery?
can you read that?
It's hard to read the writing, but it says, remove 2 maple trees.
There you go. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the original.
okay, so we do have another quote then. So
We
we
do.
have David Tree's quote
Yes.
and this one.
You want to get another quote?
No?
No, you got 2, that's all I'm good with. I'd give it to David Tree.
I would too. We would get trees planted too.
Right, let's move on with this.
Yes.
Where's his quotes? There's a bunch of different ones here.
For Davy Tree?
David Tree's right here.
Looks like it's
He quoted different,
No, there's three quotes.
1, 2, 3, 4.
one is for the planting,
Right.
and then one is for, I believe it was care, and one is for the
Yeah.
actual take
So
down.
you're
Right.
talking,
So we could just have a removing stump.
you're talking 30,000 on this.
No, well, that's if we do the 10,000
Are there
for
trees?
planting.
Yeah, I think there's trees on the roads too.
Yeah,
Those are just for some.
he's got 2, 3, 4, and stumps, so 7, 8, 9.
Is he cleaning
And
up,
he's
hauling
talking
it
about-
away?
Yeah, and he's talking about Shell, I believe he's talking about Shell Road as well.
Yeah, there's trees on the roads
Yeah.
that need to be taken down.
So maybe what we should do is just have them bid the cemetery, just the cemetery.
For, Weaver?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, just have them bid the cemetery, because he's got other stuff in this.
Yeah, expensive.
Right. Because he could be giving me a discount.
Do you want me to have him do that?
Yeah, that'd be great.
And you all have a copy of this, but it's hard to read.
Yeah, it's
Can
on.
you read yours?
Well, yeah.
Thanks again, appreciate it. Okay.
Can we do that for the 27th meeting?
Yes, absolutely.
That'd be
Because
good.
I want to do that and I want to make sure we get, because I want that cemetery.
Right,
I don't want it. I'd like to see it done.
yeah, one oops, and it costs you more.
Yes. Okay, cemetery trees. NOPEC, we received grants from NOPEC to go for the Easter egg hunt. The person who put that on, get that community grant. Matt, could you do me a big favor? If you still have the invoice for some reason it didn't go through and they're waiting on you to get that invoice for the insulation for the garage.
Yeah, okay.
Do you have that?
No,
Can you
Julie
do
would
it?
have invoices.
Yeah, and I didn't ask her that.
I would have to see if they CC'd me on that, John. Well,
Okay.
yeah.
If you have it, could you do
I
it?
probably have the quote. I don't know.
The
if I
quote
have
would be
the-
fine.
Quote would be fine? Okay, yeah.
And then we can get that one.
Yeah.
Because I have to have it done by June 30th.
Sure.
Okay, a couple of things. We talked about the moratorium on cannabis. I'll reach out to Julie once she gets the ability to do it. I don't know if anybody's been down on 82 around the circle.
Yeah, oh yeah,
It's terrible.
several times in the.
I called ODOT 3 times. They haven't come and cleaned it up. And I get no response. Now they're decorating the trees.
Yeah.
Is this the
Yeah.
round? The
I
round?
do that all the time.
Are they talking about the
They
round?
come
The
from
roundabout,
the bar.
they have
They're half,
Christmas
they're half
decorations.
stamped.
Okay.
I've seen them.
Really? Oh my God.
It's like, why did they even put trees there?
I know.
I think they just grew.
Yeah, but you don't want that stuff to really
I think
grow.
the birds kind of helped out.
Not that size of a tree, they had been planted there.
I don't know, that is the worst. That's supposed to be like the gateway to our community, and it's horrible. So, but anyway, I just wanted to make it clear that it's not a good site.
So the county takes care of it?
The ODOT.
Oh, that is it? Oh, okay.
So I got a vote ODOT on that, and
That was from Superior Spray Foam and Insulation, correct?
I believe so.
Okay. Do I have one from him?
You have one from the other guy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And that one, the one included the fire retardant.
Yes, Mid-American.
Yep.
Mid-American.
I have them both here.
Thank you, sir.
So efficient.
See that? I do.
So efficient, yeah.
Good memory there.
Is there anything else you need, sir?
Yeah, no, that's it. That's all I needed. Let's see what else I have. Change of occupancy. We're still waiting on the building department. They are dragging their feet for what reason, I don't know. I've made numerous phone calls and sent numerous emails, and I haven't got a response. So I directed the attorney to write a letter to the building department and ask them why we are not getting serviced. So our application for the change of occupancy has not been serviced correctly, and I'm waiting for a response. Public records schedule where you don't have Julia available, and administrative assistant we don't have. Anyway. Susan?
I really don't have anything.
I just wanted to tell you that I've got quite a few compliments on the flagpole.
I did too, actually, on concrete.
Yeah, and it came out very nice.
It's amazing.
The fellow that did the powder coating for the signs and the benches knew that the job he did was not sufficient. He actually came by, took the signs down, the benches, brought them back to the powder coating, and redid them. They came out really nice. So I want to thank you on that too. We do have an issue now. If you notice today and yesterday, there's a whole row of surveyor flags all the way down 82. And when it comes to the cemetery, the first sign on the east side is on the right of way.
I don't think it's a problem yet, until it is a problem.
It will be a problem.
And
So let's take a look at it. I don't know. It's on both sides. I don't know if they're trying to widen the road.
If you notice, the flags end at the intersection here. That is the intersection of the gas line. Those are the same stakes they put in the Mantua Township going west to Aurora. The same stakes, and they put a gas line in.
So they're bringing the gas line up here?
I can't answer that.
we won't know that we get a phone call.
My investigation
Road right away, so.
looks like that's what's gonna happen.
Well, you think they would contact us when they come in
They
the
will,
township?
so right now it's.
But they did it the first time.
We got gas here. What?
They're taking those meters out is what they're doing.
Oh,
We're assuming.
That's what they did in Aurora.
Right, we're assuming.
okay. Well, take a peek at that.
It's different outside, so we have to get a move something, so we'll cross that when it happens.
Okay. Mr. Bennett?
Yeah. Okay, the OPWC, that is the paving of Pioneer Trail from Mantua Center Road to Peck Road. That is a 50-50 split with the state of Ohio. That is, bid opening is going to be on the 27th of this month. Mike Collins suspects it will come in under bid, so we'll see. Or under budget, I should say. So that's that. We're also going to be doing some work at Winchell Road and 44 to do some leveling with that. Water treatment plant, or the sewer treatment plant, I'm going to get back to John because he had a couple meetings while I was gone. And then
Yesterday I got a phone call at 5:30. And from Steve. Yeah, Steve said, I have a plumber here and I need to get in the building. And I was like, my dinner was about 5 minutes from being finished. So I did let him in. The plumber he was looking around to where the discharge came, and I don't know what happened after they left. But Steve promised to get back to you on whatever he found. Okay. So, and we're talking about the treatment plant at the school.
perfect. State Route 44 you discussed, and Waffle House you discussed. So, good. Other than the fact, we did leave off one thing, it's not on there, but we'll talk about it, and that's going to be trash day. I do have a letter from Temple. And he listed, just roughly, he listed some dates. What he'd like to do is, if we do it during the week, he would bring some dumpsters out like on, say like Tuesday night, 7, like 10 dumpsters, and then the next day he would bring 5 more and take the 5 loaded ones back. I talked to Portage County Sheriff's Department for security, and they're like $45 an hour. So I think it's a win-win if we do it during the week, because the guys will be there during the day to police it. We won't have to have the sheriff there all day Sunday and all night Monday night or Sunday night and Saturday night.
What are you saying during the week? Now we're back on the weekend?
No, I'm going back like Tuesday Tuesday night,
Okay,
half the dumpsters dumped. Okay, then they will come back and take, the next day they'll come back and take 5 out of those 10 and drop 5 new dumpsters. And then come back the next day and pick everything up.
so how many days is it going on?
So they'll drop them Tuesday night.
Okay, so we'll do it Wednesday?
Yeah, just one day you'll do that,
Okay.
you'll pick up one
And
day.
then it's done.
And then what we'll do is hire the sheriff's department to come there for $40 an hour to police it at nighttime. The guys can police it during the day. So, like, if they come Tuesday, the guys can police it if we have to. If they come early enough, then we'll have to have sheriff there Tuesday night and Wednesday night. No different on Thursday. So it'll save you 16 hours of day stuff if the guys will pay attention to it. I just haven't picked a date. He said anytime in July and August would work. So, just need to figure out what we want to do. If you want to do a weekend, we can do a weekend. I'll drop Friday night. We have them there Saturday, have to pick up Saturday, and then Sunday they'll sit vacant. We'll have to have protection for those, and then pick up Monday. So, I did your knock-off day as well.
Yeah, we're not putting that overtime for a weekend.
Right. And by the time people see them,
Exactly.
then it'll be the next day. And then the question was too, is do we want to do the county dumpster? Because everyone they drive a dumpster as well, but they need us to charge 50 cents per tire.
So going to, and who's done the
Well, hopefully there's three trustees and then the employees. Because it would be on a Wednesday. And that would save us some overtime for the guys. If we did it on Saturday, they'd pay the guys overtime. So if we do it during the week, no overtime. We can put it early enough. And plus they were cheaper, they were a lot cheaper than one. They were only like $600, I don't have that one. Well, I have to check it. $559 for a container. Where Brian said the years past, they were paying $1,000 for a container. So. Maybe. What other vote on, I mean, because we just need to, what we want to do. We have the information. And we can revisit this on 27th.
yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
And get the vote and get it done.
Get the what?
Get it voted and get it done.
Okay. What do you want to do with the county for dumpster, for tires?
We can say no to tires altogether. I mean, unless you want to do tires too, I think that's a lot.
You know where I stand.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, Portage County, you talk to them, because they do at Ray Summerlin, I think it is. Every year they do tires for free. If you call Ray, he'll tell you when it is this year, and you can just
Like
say,
they did last year.
yeah, no, you can just say no tires. I took 2 tires in from a customer in Kent, and it was like $50 for 2 tires. And he said, why don't you just wait a month or 2, it's free. I said, because the city's on my customer.
What's his name?
It's Summerlin Tire. Used to be Ravenna Tire. Bob Summerlin. Bob Summerlin Tire.
It's Bob Summerall Tire. It's from June 10th to June 13th. It's going on right now.
There you go.
June 10th to when?
June 13th, 9 to noon at Bob Summerall, Sumerel Tire, 480 Cleveland Road.
How many tires can?
As many
And
as
if
you
you
want.
want,
So much, like they give you so many, but you can turn around and come back with another truckload. And there were service shops bringing their tires.
I'm sorry, she needs to advertise that.
It's on Facebook.
Is it on Facebook?
Yeah. I shared it earlier.
So yeah, save yourself the headache and don't take tires. Because what happens, it seems like in years past, is that there's tires coming into you guys that are no way out of one guy's farm.
well, yeah, I think
And
we
so
also have
if
to
they
regulate.
take the Bob Summerlin, that's,
Things
you know,
should
blah, 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 and they're out of it.
Right.
This says maximum of 10 tires per day per household. can take rimmed tires for $5 per tire on the rim. No agricultural or tractor tires or
You know how many tractor
construction or
tires
truckers.
are around here?
Yeah, so you can have your husband, your wife, your kids, 30 tires a day. And last year, my one friend who has a business, they sent a lady that works there to get rid of the company's tires and customer tires. And she said, we got a lot more tires. Yeah, just keep coming back. So she was making 4 tractors.
I don't know if that guy is still in business, by the way, so I can tell you that.
He's got a grant to do it, I guess. He's got a grant to take tires.
He's got a grant.
Yeah, he has a grant. He isn't taking a lot of
It
it.
hundreds of thousands of dollars. Get rid of these tires.
That Portage County got a grant, got him involved in it, and,
Yeah, it says it's sponsored by the Portage County Health District in collaboration with Bob Sunwell Tire.
What are the dates?
10, June 10th through June 13th,
and what
from
things,
9 a.m. to noon, or until tire capacity is met.
I'm sorry.
It says 9 to noon, or until tire capacity is met.
and what Facebook page is that on?
Portage County Health District,
Okay.
yeah, they've been publishing it since May 29th, or May 28th.
You want to give people too much notice, they'll be coming up with police.
You have to have proof that says that you have a driver's license or registration for your car. You have to have proof that you're a resident.
I do, yeah. What's your statement? We'll be waiting on that.
She acts like she didn't do that.
Thank you.
Public comment?
Right.
If you go ahead with this dumpster dig, my suggestion is in the advertisement, put in there, security is provided.
Exactly, that's what, Thompson, that's that.
Because it's notify me,
Yeah.
I shouldn't come up with my truck.
Right.
Seriously.
Okay, make a motion to have a special meeting on June 27th at 7 o'clock to open OPWC bids and any other business before the trustees.
Okay, John, did you guys already do that last night? Did you guys already do that?
No, we didn't set up a special meeting. We just approved, because they said on the 20th or the 27th.
Okay, so you didn't even come with the 27th?
That they came up with the 27th.
Okay.
So So the motion is to have a special meeting on June 27, open OPWC bids and any other business before the trustees.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
What time?
7 o'clock. Okay.
And I did not see the advertisement. Has anybody?
Yes, I did. Matter of fact, it's advertised twice. You don't get the record courier. Do you want me to send you a copy of it? They advertised on both days that they said it.
Did it say to drop off the bids?
At the garage, yes.
Perfect.
Okay, any other business?
No.
We will be going into executive session, but we're going to have public comment first.
Okay.
So public comment. Terry.
I have nothing.
Ms. Newell.
We already dealt with it, so we're good. I gave you the information.
John Martin. Ms. Leesburg.
Okay. I told you I'd show up. Today, my last conversation with Chris Craycroft, and this is dealing, she's the executive director of Portage Park District, and this is pertaining to the Headwaters Trail, Phase 9, which would be, the trail ends up here at Mennonite Road, and Phase 9, the proposed plan for Phase 9 is Mantua Center Road, Pioneer Trail, and then a little section of Diagonal Road. I took an interest in this because I live right on the corner of Mantua Center Road and Pioneer Trail. So that would be my side yard and my front yard. After that May 6th meeting, Chris was wonderful to talk to, very open to have a community meeting, whatever we would want. We have talked back and forth, and originally I had just talked with Edie Benner. I asked her to be a part of our community information meeting. She was great with that, but today, my last conversation with Chris, what we decided, and I think this is for the better after talking, in the last 24 hours, I have some very, very heated neighbors, and I don't want a May 6th meeting to happen again. And so the landowners and residents along Mantua Center Road, Pioneer Trail, and that section of Diagonal Road, within the next couple of weeks will be receiving, and the trustees, Chris said she's going to make sure the trustees get what she's going to give to us. It will be an official letter from the Portage Park District pertaining to the proposed plan. We talked, she had asked in a text, what kind of questions do the people have? And so I asked in this letter to give, let me back up. Usually, I don't think they send out letters to the landowners until the project is concrete, it's gonna happen, then they're kind of letting you know what's going on and what's happening. Due to the May 6th thing and the way the residents in the community unexpectedly found out about this project, we kind of opened a can of worms. But Chris is great in informing the community now, even before there's been no surveyors, no engineers, nothing yet. It's not even decided what side of the road this is to be. I asked her to please let people know what the difference is of eminent domain, which has nothing to do with it, and right-of-way. A lot of the neighbors have a question about the right-of-way. we're all okay. We have a gas line through there and we have electric. We're fine with that. But the right-of-way, the neighbors are all looking at the bike and hike trail as something that's for pleasure, not a necessity to our community. And people have been asking me, who gives permission to use that right-of-way as Pioneer Trail and Mantua Center are county or township roads, diagonals a county road? Those are the kind of questions people have. So we're going to start with this information letter that goes out to everyone. It's official, and she's going to have some fact sheets or whatever, contact numbers, websites you can go look. I've started my own notebook of things. I've started to do my research. Not all my neighbors are going to be doing that. And I felt it was better that we do this so people have time to open their mail, read it, get mad, sit down, pick it up again, read it, discuss it with their family, their neighbors, friends. I was afraid we were going to try to have a community meeting within the next couple weeks. And I was afraid we're going to end up in literally a civil war, debate, and people not hearing what information is being given to them. So that's why I canned the community meeting. I'm just a grandma on the corner, and I want information. And I explained to Edie and to Chris, I'm tired of adults acting like children and playing the telephone game, and it's going from here to there, and nobody's getting the correct information, and the correct information isn't even established by the park district yet.
That's why I told you when you called me when I was in Florida to talk to Chris. Okay, get some questions from your neighbors. So she's not going in blindsided. She would have some answers for the questions that your people have, to open up dialogue.
And so we decided, I don't want to be the pesky neighbor going to my neighbors, because everybody's busy with their farms or their business and, their gardens, and we're really, that section, we're really a very private, quiet community living on our acreage, minding our business, unless, somebody needs help and you're there. And I did express to Chris that my own concerns, after growing up on 77 acres, I'm on the corner, I have no neighbors, it's quiet except for trucks, there's no people, there's no one walking, no one biking except the pace lines, of guys. It's a very quiet area, and because of where I sit, to have this trail down one side of my yard and down the front, and 30 feet or more into my yard, and our semis and security and all that. Now they're coming from a total different mindset. If you go onto their website, one of their big things is, this is for the mental health of people, people exercising and doing this and this and this, environmental benefits and so forth. And I think the biggest problem is, and with the Aurora City thing, when they brought up about how in Barrington they have barriers and things, we're not Barrington. We're not city. We're very rural, country-minded. That's why people bought property here, work hard to pay for their land and their houses and their privacy and so forth. I still don't think the rails to trail big movement from 50 years ago, a lot of federal grant money, big politics, and not quite understanding us. I did go to, because Randy Alger mentioned, he voted when he looked at the 1999 land use plan for Mantua Township. That was 25 years ago. And I actually looked at that plan, and it's almost, to me, in the plan, they want to keep farming, mining, rural community, keep the views on Diagonal and Durthix Hill and this and that. But then over here, well, maybe we should have a park and recreation board and start having these trails and connectors, and they were talking about going down Sheldon Road then. And there's a lot of things in that land use plan that have never happened. That was 25 years ago. A lot has happened. A lot of those people on those committees have died or in nursing homes and so forth. There have been a lot of changes. We've been through 3 years of COVID. That's big changes. And maybe that land use plan needs to be revisited. Actually, I tried not to argue with this woman last night about the plan. I said, that plan is not in your rule and regulations and concrete, and you have to follow anything. And it took quite a while for me to get through her mind. That was just proposals, just ideas. And then today I got a phone call from a neighbor, very heated. Wow. And I rushed to get to the other neighbor before that neighbor got to that neighbor with wrong information, and very heated. So again, it showed me a community meeting right now to get out information is not a good idea. So you should be getting a letter, official letter with some information about what all this is. And
When's this slated to go? This phase 9?
from what I read, I went to the Portage County Park District website, and that's where I'm getting my information. And it's kind of misleading because one article stated that this spring you would see surveyors and engineers, and that's why we freaked out. But then you read in another article, phase 9 is not to be started and getting money till 2027. But I don't know. Because when you read the articles, go to the official government website of Portage County, Ohio. It's portagecounty-ohio.gov. And that's where I'm pulling information. And I'm telling my neighbors, sign up for the Portage District newsletter, and alerts and things. Because I told Chris, I said, I bet the majority of Mantua Township has no idea about Portage Park districts and rails to trails, and we're not the ones out there on the Headwater Trail. All you have to do is walk your property and work your property.
So when are we expected to see all this stuff?
We don't know. We found out by mistake, and we're in on and have knowledge of all this before even the pre-planning stage. And I don't think that usually happens.
Yeah, I think so.
And so it was really a godsend of how we all ended up here with that.
Okay. All right.
So you should be getting a letter, and that's why I canned the meeting, the public meeting, because I didn't want a civil war, and I'm sure people are still, because we don't have information.
So it sounds like you have some neighbors that are for it, some that are against it.
Oh my gosh, yes. And what's happening, and I specifically, Edie was great, sat down with Edie, go way back. And I went to her workplace and waited for her break. And I said, Edie, I'm tired of, you have family members not talking to each other. You have neighbors now being mad. You have community people ignoring people. Because you have those that want it, those that don't, those that don't know what's going on. And this is just a month in from that meeting. And we can't split our community and our friendships and neighbors.
Doris, I hate to cut you.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
But we have
Yes,
some more
so-
business to attend to, so.
So you're gonna be getting a letter.
Okay.
And then from there, whatever.
Well, we're interested to see what comes up.
My big question though, with the right of way, because they're township roads, would they have to come and ask permission to use that right of way?
I would imagine.
I mean, is that something you can know ahead of time? I mean, I don't
Yeah, I mean, we could ask our local advisor. Yes.
I mean, I think that's probably the first thing as township trustees you need to know or find out for sure. I don't know.
Okay, we'll keep our nose to the ground.
I mean, that's all. It's,
Okay,
so,
thank you.
thank you for listening.
Carol.
This oddly enough brings two things together, the trees and right-of-way. This big, huge, semi-dead tree right at the intersection, is that in the right-of-way?
The one on our property?
No.
Because ours is dead.
Across the street,
The one diagonally across.
we've had, I think we've had discussions with that tree for quite a while.
Well,
Are you talking about the one in front of the yellow house?
Mr. Keller's house.
Oh, Keller's.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it just, if what you said about if they could last 20 years or fall over in 5 minutes. Boy, if there was ever a candidate to fall over in 5 minutes, but it hasn't, it's that tree. So that's okay.
Yeah, is it on his property?
Well, that's why I asked about right-of-way.
I think you would see the stakes in the ground now.
Okay, whatever. Here's, okay. If I can finish.
Yeah,
The tree also poses a danger at the intersection because it throws so much shade. And I have good eyes, I have good distance vision, but on a lot of the time, a lot of cars are dark colored now. You cannot, between the way the land comes up to this intersection and the shade that tree throws, you often can't see a vehicle there, an ordinary vehicle. So that's my point. I just wanted to ask him, and I've gotten the impression that there's something semi-sacred about that tree. So I don't know. But it's a safety issue. And I can tell you traffic circles are not the answer either, because more of us have had close calls at that traffic circle than we ever did when it was just an intersection. Not
only close calls.
Pardon?
Not only close calls.
Okay.
Quite a few disasters.
Have there been crashes there?
Yes. One.
Yeah, so traffic circles save lives, okay. All right. I can tell you an apocryphal story about cannabis, but you probably don't want to hear it.
You got the floor, Carol.
Well, this is unlike Bill Clinton. At one point in my misspent little age, I inhaled. So I learned a little bit about what happens with marijuana. Two things. For driving, you can't test it. You can take a breathalyzer test for alcohol. There's no way of telling whether you're messed up on marijuana. The other thing is, it affects your perception of time. And driving is all about timing. So just, my concern about marijuana is the safety issue. Although people who are high may just want to lie around and take another toke, I don't know. But driving under that influence just looks really, really unwise, to say the least.
One only has to read the Denver Post and see what's going on up there.
Oh, really?
So it is what it is. It's what the people wanted, and it's what they voted for.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
We have to respect the vote.
I guess so. That and bathtub gin.
I know.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Just so you know, if they're stopped for any kind of traffic stop, if the officer decides they're taken directly to the emergency room. Blood draws do show cannabis.
Okay, it takes a blood draw.
Yeah.
It takes a blood draw.
Okay, all right, okay. Well, have a dog along to sniff the dogs.
They have those too.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Mary Ellen. Okay, folks, that's it for public comment. I need to make a motion to pay all the bills for this week.
Thank you, Morris, thank you, Carol, thank you, everybody.
All in favor?
Yes.
I need to make a motion to go into executive session.
Terry.
Take care, everybody. I need to make a
No, so thank you.
in the executive session under 121.22, public meetings and exceptions. Paragraph G, number 1, to consider the appointment and employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, compensation,